This is a Niesmann and Bischoff Ice Move. It's a really fantastic motorhome. It's a luxury vehicle, 7.3 meters long, but really funky. Look at the styling on this. Look at the headlights for a start. And the color scheme, you can have traditional white, but this gray is really popular. You can choose the contrast color. This one's in red, as you can see down along these stripes here around the front and on the mirrors. It's a fascinating vehicle. It's even more fascinating when we go inside, so we'll have a look at that in just a moment. We'll have a stroll around the outside first of all. These are German built and some very nice engineering. So if you look at things like the waste pipes, so that's for the waste tank and the freshwater tanks, so that you can drain them using these. But the engineering that goes into these, look how this is even lit in here. Really nice. That's the cassette for the toilet. If we head on back a bit further, that's just the water filler for filling the fresh water tank. Really nice garage on these as well. As you can see, the batteries are all tucked in behind here. You can have an inverter if you want it. But look also, in fact we'll see it from the other side a bit better. If we go on round, I'll show you this as well, because this has got the reversing camera built into it. When you engage reverse, that flicks up there. Really cool, but also of course keeps it clean, because when you get that vortex effect pulling all the dirt on the back of the vehicle, that is a helpful thing. Look at the fact they put a shower in here. Brilliant if you've been in wild swimming perhaps, or if you've got bikes, you want to just hose the bikes down before you put them inside. That's a very helpful feature. You've got tie downs in here as well, again to secure everything. That's for the awning. This one's got an awning on it, so you winch it out with that. And then this one here is your gas bottles. Obviously it'll take 2 bottles into there. Again, you've got choices. This has got the sort of carbon fibre look trim on here, which looks really smart, but you can choose different versions of that. That's the awning. It's got the lighting across it as well, as you can see. But it's the inside on this one which is particularly impressive. So we'll step back and just have a look at the whole vehicle from here. It's worth mentioning you can option these to be within 3.5 tonne to drive on a car license. It doesn't leave you much payload, so you can choose when you order the vehicle whether it's specified like that or with a higher rating, which of course means you need to go for a C1 license, but it just gives you those options when you buy it new. That's the bin in there. Oh, another thing, again tucked away down underneath here, so many little features. That one just opens like that, with the door out of the way of course. There we go. That's for your power lead or dirty boots, whatever else keeps them outside of the vehicle. And then that locks for security. Anyway, let's head on in, because this is definitely the best bit. Now, just like the outside, they've gone away from that traditional sort of slightly old-fashioned look and gone for something really modern. So if you look at the upholstery, look at these linings, and in fact these have got sound deadening in them as well. The lighting as well, like here and in here, it's just really modern and it looks fantastic. Control panels up here as well. So you can look at battery condition, for example, you can look at your tank levels, all that kind of stuff is all accessed from there. Now we'll head on up to the front first of all. This is based on a Fiat chassis, so it's got a 2.2 160 horsepower engine. It's automatic as well, which you'd expect in a luxury vehicle like this. And again, the way they've done the trim, the way this is all sorted across here, you've got USB ports as well up here. The lighting in here, or the switches for the lighting I should say, is really nice, because you just put your hand near it and it all lights up. So you've got controls for the steps, for example, blinds, lighting, all that kind of stuff is there. Really nicely done. These seats, as you can see, spin round, and the upholstery in here just smells fantastic. It's full leather, just stunning. Now the cleverness on this starts right here, because you've got this nice social area around here, but this one will actually spin around so it's crossways, and that means you can drop some headrests into here. You've got your seat belts, and you've got then seating for 4 people facing forward, so that's a really nice touch. This table, you can see it's on a track across the floor, so you can move that across. It folds out as well. If I move that out of the way carefully, you can see how that opens up to a much larger dining size if you want it. And then the other thing to show you up here, you can see how this roof line comes down. Again, it's all in a nice dark colour. It does look brilliant. Big opening skylight up above, but the thing I wanted to show you particularly is this, because now you can drop these seats down, the backrests down, to drop this lower, but just to show you for the moment, if we do that, that lowers, and that is a double bed in there. And as I say, if you drop the seats down, this has got a very slight slope on it at the minute, but it comes down completely flat, of course. But that's fantastic. That's a really useful thing to give you some extra sleeping, but when you're not using it, it disappears completely into the ceiling. Very nice indeed. More of these funky lights. You've got sliding windows on here as well. If we come on around, the woodwork in here, again, they've got for this really nice colour. It's not shiny, it's a matte finish, just looks super classy. And if we open that one, that opens like that. That's just a bit of storage. Also your heater controls in there as well. And then that one underneath is designed obviously to fit a TV onto. Now, more interesting things to show you. You might think, well, you've got two people sat there, there's not a lot of room, but actually that will slide out. There's a little catch down here. Everything moves in this, so you can drop that out, and then when this is moved across, it obviously makes that a lot more comfortable. These are interesting. These, when you put your hand near them, you'll see how they light up, and that then gives you controls for things like the lighting and other bits and pieces. That bottom one is particularly interesting. I will show you that. The toilet then is here. There's a sliding door across there. You got the sink and you got the loo, and you might notice that these are folded across here. They obviously come out like this. There's a reason for that. Check this out. If I release that little catch there, that whole thing slides across. That's then a shower compartment. Shower comes out here, hooks in up there. Isn't that brilliant? Just love this thing. I think it's fantastic. Okay, let's drop that one back. There we go. This has got a little bit of storage in it, like that. And then if we come on around a little bit further, these are just little coat hooks. And if we look over on this side, then we've got the kitchen area. Now again, there's a huge amount of adaptability here, because you might think, well, okay, you've got a nice big sink and you've got your hob underneath there, but not much workspace, is there? Well, actually there is, because that one there, if I'm the right thing, there we go, that moves across, clips onto there, gives you a worktop and access to the hob itself, of course. And then if we lift this one up, we will find this little chap here, which will go on the sink. You might think, well, that's great, but I want to use the sink. No problem, because pop it into there, and that is then increasing your space. Very clever indeed. I like that. Let's pop that back. Close that one up again, and that one. And then if we look underneath, that is a massive drawer fridge, and in fact there is a freezer compartment tucked away at the back there as well. That's in here, thusly. Let's slide that one back, and then that one underneath there is just storage. It's nice that it's got this dividers in as well, because obviously it stops everything from sliding around when you're driving. So that's that one. What else can I show you? Well, if we head on back again, this is a proper bedroom. And in fact, I say it's a proper bedroom because it's actually got a proper door. How's that for privacy? That's brilliant. Now you can option this, if you prefer, with two single beds in here, and in fact that makes the motorhome a little bit shorter. That brings it down to 7 meters, I believe. But this with a double in, of course, is fantastic. You've got storage underneath here, but also they've tucked it away everywhere. So if you look under the floor in places like this, big storage bins here and here, and again that funky lighting about the place. It's beautifully done. If we come right round here, we will find that there's a hanging locker, and again that's illuminated inside, and this is all storage up around here. And you've also got the opening skylight up above, and that's got blinds that come across it like so. Now there's one more thing to show you, which I think is fantastic, because as I say, you can slide that across, and this end of course you've got sleeping separately. However, you might think if you've got a family, you don't want that all separate and closed off. You want an open plan. Well, you can do that because if I drop that one back, I mentioned this switch down here. Again, we can illuminate it just by doing that. And that down button sends that fella down. And that changes the whole feel of the vehicle again, because now suddenly it's all completely open plan all the way through. So you've got a young family, you want to keep an eye on people, that is a great way to do it. That is genius. So there we go. That is about the size of it. I'm going to sit on this very comfy looking seat over here. I'm going to say huge thanks to the Irwin Hymer Centre. They've organised this tour. They've got this fine vehicle for sale, and I will put a link to those guys in the description. And I will say huge thanks, of course, to you all for watching. If you've not subscribed, do me a favour, hit that little bell and hit the button. It really helps the channel, and we will look forward to catching you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.